This movie shows why Bryan Singer is the best director the X-Men franchise ever had. X-Men Days of Future Past, directed by Bryan Singer, who directed X-Men and X-Men United. So he comes back to the franchise after doing 3 movies that were terrible: Valkyrie, Superman Returns, and Jack the Giant Slayer. He comes back to the X-Men franchise and he does an amazing job with this movie. You got this story of a horrific future where there are these giant Terminator-like robots called Sentinels being used to hunt down and kill mutants, and they are created by Bolivar Trask in the 1970s, played by Peter Dinklage, and he does an amazing job as Trask. I really did like him. And Charles Xavier and Magneto, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, who are great as the characters. They realize the only way to defeat these Sentinels is to use time travel. Get Shadowcat, Ellen Page's character, to send Wolverine back in time, send his consciousness back in time to himself back in the 1970s, and get young Charles Xavier and young Magneto together to change the past and make it like this horrific future never happened. And the movie is awesome. I really did like this movie. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, he is awesome in this movie. He is Wolverine in all the movies that he's been in as the character. Patrick Stewart as present-day Xavier is awesome, and you got James McAvoy as young Charles Xavier, a guy who has lost hope and does not wish to be the man he's meant to be. He is great in this movie. Magneto, Ian McKellen, the present-day Magneto, is awesome. And Michael Fassbender as the 1970s Magneto, he is great as well. I love Michael Fassbender in this film. Jennifer Lawrence does an amazing job as Mystique. She really embraces the character. She really feels like the Mystique from X-Men 1 and X-Men 2. I really did like that because she didn't really feel like Mystique in the X-Men First Class, but she really begins to feel like that character, and I really did like that. Nicholas Hoult was great as Beast, really did like him, and we got Evan Peters as Quicksilver. In the comic books, Quicksilver is Magneto's son, but they don't refer to that in the movie. I guess Bryan Singer didn't think that was important to the plot. But Evan Peters is awesome as Quicksilver. I really liked him in the movie, and his costume really didn't look all that bad. I think they wanted to make his costume look like everyday clothes, which is pretty cool. Omar Sy was a pretty good Bishop. I really did like him, and you get to see Iceman Shawn Ashmore to his full potential. That is awesome. And other mutants in this movie: Sunspot, Colossus, Storm, Blink, who is a teleporter, and Toad, who is barely in the movie. He's like a cameo, really. Which is good because I don't like the way Toad looks in this movie. But this is a fantastic movie. My favorite X-Men film yet. Better than X-Men 2, which was my favorite film before, but now this is my favorite film of the franchise. I give this movie an A. And of course there's a post-credits scene, so be sure to stay after the credits, because this scene leads into the next X-Men movie, and it shows who the next villain is going to be, and he is an awesome villain if you know the comics. Definitely check this one out.